And here we are right after the pour that I did in my last video. It is still the same setup. I have still the same premixed colors, which is a white, gold and lavender purple. And I had so much paint left from my first pour that I wanted and needed to make another pour, which I'm doing in this video here. The approach is almost the same, but I did change some things just to give you an impression what you can do instead of just watering the canvas. And by the way, in case you have not seen the first video of this pouring series, I suggest you head back and have a look at this one first, just to get in the loop, and then watch this one here. But basically what I did differently in the first one was adding water to wet the surface. In this video here I'm making a base layer of paint. And the first paint that you can see me use here, which is this neutral grayish paint, is actually all the paint that I scoop up from all my other pours that I did. So I've told this in other videos before. Whenever I do a pouring painting and I have drip of paint, which actually always happens, I'm not wasting this paint and throw it away. I basically just scoop it up with a palette knife or something like that and put it into this really messy looking jar here. Of course, it has so many different colors in it, and when you mix plenty of different colors and color types, you will get this muddy grayish neutral color, which is perfect to use as a base layer paint when you have a thicker pour on top of it. It will be lighter, it will be darker depending on the amount of white and colors that you put in there, but basically this is just always neutral gray. So I use a bit of this paint here as a base layer to help the new paint to glide over easily, and also I put some of the newly scooped up paint from a previous pour on top of it. It really does not matter which color you have. If you have a very light pour planned ahead, I wouldn't go for a dark base layer paint. But if you have somewhat color and opaque colors that you're using for your pour, you can really actually use whatever color you would like to use. Because as the pour painting layers are mostly not that thin to see the base layer paint through, you should be good. There is no need for you to make this. It will just help your paint glide over easier, and it just reduces the stress level on the go, I'd say. Other than that, I layered up my paints in my pouring jar, and I again used the same pouring jar than I did for the first pour. I did not even clean it. So I just put new layers of paint in there and started pouring. I don't know how you feel about pouring yourself. Are you still excited when you pour? Are you a bit nervous when you start a new project because you have no idea how it's going to turn out? I most of times switch between both feelings. I am always excited to start a new project. I always wonder if I can get the result that I want to achieve. And if not, if it still is something pretty that I like. It took a while to get myself to a point to accept my failures, and thank you so much for everyone who helped me and joined me and supported me on that road, just to prove me that it looks better than I can see it myself. And I think this is something like the artist curse itself. We are always too overcritic with our own results, so this is perfectly me. But returning back to this artwork here, when all the paint was put on there, it pretty much looked very golden, as you can see again. This gold, I have this had so often, really takes over so much of the paint. I really should use less of it, I guess. But it's so pretty when it's dry, you know? Yeah, basically I poured the paint on there and started stretching it around. At this point I most of times don't have a plan what to do, because when I do the ring pours I somewhat have a plan how I want it to look like, but most of the time there is no way of getting it to a point you want it to look in the first place. So I stretched the paint around, saw that I have covered all the areas and got a somewhat nice looking result in the end. When it comes to these colors here, they are pretty bright on the red face, and I know that the gold is much more, well, pastel-like than it is in the dried version, because it's really shiny there. Not as much darker as it looks here, but it's really shiny and metallic. The purple as the color itself is really drying dark, so really like dark. So the result here is going to depend on how much white is going to intermix with the purple, and when it comes to the white, it remains white, of course. Then there is just a factor on how thick or thin the layers are, just to make the layer below visible or not. So I stretched it as much as I could. I didn't want to have a thick layer on there anyways, just to avoid any pooling in the middle and changes in the overall design. And this is the result. This is how it looks like in the end. And I again hope you like this result. I perhaps should have used more of the purple just to give this more prominent look and to give it more contrast. I nevertheless like how it looks, how it turned out, and the color combination is somewhat pretty as well. So I might not only use the blues in the future, but I always feel my fingers itching for making some more blue artwork. Blue, gold, white. What do you think? Do we want to see a blue, white and gold one again? Or just like the Arctic one that I did some month ago already? So many decisions. But in the end, as always, you can see the dried and varnished version again filmed outside in sunlight. And if you have any questions, as usual, please leave me down in the comment box. If you're new to my channel and liked what you've seen, please make sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to not miss out any of my new videos. And if you're new, also have a look back all my other videos that might be of interest for you. Other than that, the materials that I've used and my social media is linked below in the video description. And yeah, as I'm going to upload this video just this weekend here as well, I wish you a Merry Christmas with your loved ones, a great time, good food, enjoy the holiday seasons, and I hope to see you very soon when it comes to my next videos. So other than that, have a great day. Bye bye.